Hi-ho, neighbors. Rado Goji here.
And I'm Soylent Greg.
And welcome to the Squeeze the World gaming video podcast thing.
For this week.
For this past week. Today is January 31st, 2019.
Last day of January.
Last day of January already.
I know, crazy how fast this year's been going by.
And then this will be going up on the 2nd of February.
Yes.
I know it's been a couple of weeks, it's been a couple of weeks since we last did when he was on vacation.
Yes,
so.
I was in Florida, where I got this neat PlayStation hoodie.
Yes, very neat. And you also got an additional part of Deadly Premonition up. And I don't think that Greg has been watching those. So.
No, I have not.
So I'll have to fill him in.
But I've played Deadly Premonition, so I'll hop in where it's time.
Yeah, I'll let him know where we're going, because we're probably going to be beating that tonight.
Hell yeah.
And
Can't wait.
That'll bring up my... my beat count.
Tally of games beaten for the year.
It's like 5 now at this point.
Yeah, I was going to talk about that when it's my what have you been playing.
What have you been playing?
What have I been playing?
Yeah, what have you been playing?
Well, my official video games beaten this year tally is up to 3. Because, as I said, I was in on vacation in Florida, traveling to meet family. We did go to Disney a couple days, but because it's so portable, I decided to buy a case for the Switch and bring the Switch with us. Intended for my kid to play while we were, like, staying places. Only he mostly stayed on his tablet. So I got to use the Switch several very long periods while driving and the like. And I ended up beating The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And I think I posted a status saying that I just beat Breath of the Wild. That was one of the best games I've played in years. Which it really is. It's fantastic. It's really funny. Not long after I sat down and watched the Donkey video about Breath of the Wild, Dunk of the Wild. Mm-hmm. And I highly recommend watching it because not only is it hilarious, it's a wonderful showcase of all the crazy shit you can do. Even having beaten the game, like half the shit that he does, I had no idea you could do. Like picking up chickens and tricking enemies into hitting them so that a flock of chickens attacks and kills the enemy.
So the tables have turned.
Yes. I didn't know that you could use the stasis on barrels and like, or on the enemy when they're about to throw something at you, and the enemy will still throw something at you and then look like confused, like where the fuck did it go? But it's a fantastic game. It reminds me a lot. This is an odd comparison to make, but it's sort of like Metal Gear Solid 5 in that the absolute best like experience in gaming is just when they drop you in a big fucking playground and give you like a whole bunch of tools to get the job done. Because MGS5 gives you the Fulton, it gives you, C4 and grenades and guns and putting bombs on a convoy thing to shoot it up into a base and kill a guy. And Breath of the Wild,
zombies.
Breath of the Wild, yes. And Breath of the Wild does the same thing. You get all... It's my favorite Zelda game that is completely unlike every other Zelda game. Because the dungeons are short, you get all of the powers and items and shit within like the first 2 hours, and then you just go around freezing things with stasis and making ice blocks and picking up rocks and smashing people with them. And
and also still no zombies, unless Freedettes are in the game.
Still no zombies. Only things I didn't really like. The dungeons could have been a little bit better. It could have looked a little bit nicer, maybe.
Well, we're going off of like hardware that's like Wii U level, so
yeah. And I hate the horses in Breath of the Wild. I rode one just long enough to tame it and register it, and then I don't think I ever touched a horse the entire rest of the game, because even when they like you, they still, it seems like one time out of 5, you'll like tell them to like go giddy up, and they like won't do shit, and it's like, well, you're a video game horse, you're not a real horse. But it's fantastic. Game is fucking great. Other than that, I'm playing the new Resident Evil 2, but I've talked long enough. I can talk about that next week, because I'm sure I'll still be playing it next week. Patrick, what have you been playing this week?
I beat Secret of Evermore.
Woo!
And it was...
I mean, woo!
with the arms.
Yeah.
It was okay.
I need like a sign behind the camera that's like, raise this arm to be seen on camera. Raise this arm to be hidden.
Yeah, it's Secret of Evermore. It's okay. It's based off. I mean, obviously it's based off the Secret of Mana engine. It was completely made by an American development team,
Mm.
Squaresoft USA, which is obviously a subsidiary of Enix. Well, yeah, nowadays that actually does fit. Secret of Evermore is actually the first game that was composed by Jeremy Soule,
Oh, okay.
the guy who did Elder Scrolls.
Yeah.
So that was kind of, and it was very atmospheric. It just felt like for every couple of nice things that the game did, there were like a couple of other not so great things, or it was just like meh overall. And like I was having trouble with the final boss at first, and then I found out I could be using these spells, and it just became just incredibly trivial.
You had difficulty with the Battle of Evermore?
I suppose I did. But since I finished that, I've moved on to another Super Nintendo game, Illusion of Gaia.
Yeah!
And
I fucking love Illusion of Gaia, by the way.
I got to the diamond mines earlier today.
Oh, nice!
I can already tell this is like a much better game than Secret of Evermore.
Oh my god, that was one of my favorite games when I was like 10, 11, 12 years old. I had it for the Super Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
I remember buying it thinking that it was going to be like Final Fantasy. It was going to be like a turn-based RPG instead of like Zelda. But once I got over that, it was so good.
And I've already watched part of the playthrough by Pro Jared, and I know like what some of the the upcoming story is going to be, and it's fairly complex for a SNES game.
It's an odd story too.
It is, but it's still like the characters are surprising. I mean, I wouldn't say that they're like super deep, but they're surprisingly well written. For what are they, like 12-year-old kids?
Oh yeah, something like that. Although if it was a movie, they'd be played by like Freddie Prinze Jr. and like Matthew Lillard.
Oh,
I don't know. I don't fucking know.
They did that. It was called Wing Commander.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're so right.
You're welcome for me reminding you.
Why did you remind me that Wing Commander exists?
You brought up Freddie Prinze Jr. and Matthew Lillard.
That was that movie that had the Star Wars trailer at the beginning of it. So people went to go see it for the Star Wars trailer and then walked out before the movie started. Even though they couldn't get their money back.
Actually, my brother and I did go to see that movie because we were genuinely excited to see a Wing Commander movie. At the time, we didn't think it was that bad. But
you should email Chris Roberts and demand your money back.
He's probably going to want me to give him money.
Also, if you bought Star Citizen, you should email Chris Roberts and ask for your money back.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Oh yes. We've had to endure much, you and I.
Why contain it? It's cool.
I'm so sad, by the way, before we get to the actual news, I'm so sad that the Machinima YouTube was taken down, because the official... I looked on YouTube, there are some fan ones that are up that dub the music, that dub all the voices and everything, and there's some ones that people made like in response to it that are remixes and the like, but the original Deus Ex recut, the one that we use as a fucking in-joke for everything, has been taken down. Rest in piss.
Yeah.
Deus Ex recut. Oh yes.
Oh yes. We have some news items here.
Oh, we have some news this week.
Yep.
Things happened this week.
I did try to pare it down a little bit because Fallout 76 is back in with the whole putting bugs back in the game, and we're sick of talking about Fallout 76.
Fallout 76 fucked up again.
Yeah.
It's like the kid who just keeps coming up with like a picture that he painted in his own shit, and you have to be like, oh, I'm gonna put this on the refrigerator, but you really just put it in the trash can.
Yeah.
With some wet wipes to disinfect it.
I think
ew, gross.
I think what we should do is, like, how we always end our news stuff with Star Citizen's not out yet.
Fallout 76 is still bad.
We should preface it with Fallout 76 did something bad.
Be like, Fallout 76 is still bad. Also, the drawing that you put in the trash inexplicably weighs 12.5 pounds.
Oh, knocked the camera there.
Oh, okay.
All right.
That was not an earthquake. That was just Patrick kicking the camera a little bit.
By accident.
No worries.
But our first thing of the day, a lot of people have been waiting quite a while for, actual official news on Metroid Prime 4, the upcoming game for the Switch. And it seems that it really doesn't matter what kind of progress Nintendo had made up to this point, because they've decided to scrap everything, and they're starting it over with Retro Studios developing. And in all honesty, why didn't they just have Retro Studios do it in the first place?
Exactly.
They did the other 3 games. So it makes sense.
If I was Retro Studios, I would have been like, so hey, when are we starting development on Metroid Prime 4, guys? That's gonna be real tough. We got Animal Crossing and Pokemon, and you guys just,
And at this point, they're probably just like, oh, we're starting it now!
Then they're like, we heard that development of Metroid Prime 4 has started. We haven't started anything. Oh, we know. It's like, Retro, you the side chick. You're like, baby, when we going? When we going on vacation? Calls back from the beach. I don't know, baby. Okay, enough of that.
But I do agree with a lot of people when they say that they're really not all that bothered. I'm not that bothered because I'm not buying any new games anytime soon.
Was anybody like, when the fuck is Metroid Prime 4 going to get here?
No. There were a lot of people saying, when are they going to say more stuff about Metroid Prime 4? Which is understandable because they weren't saying jack shit since they announced it like a couple of years ago at E3.
Fair. Yeah.
But
was there any teaser footage at all, or was it literally just like the Metroid
I think it
logo?
was just the logo, and they were just trying to coast it on hype alone.
You know what? I bet Nintendo didn't actually really do anything. They had one guy in the room who was drawing. It was like...
Oh yeah, Bill Tendo.
Like, yeah. It's like a drawing of Samus with like a one-up mushroom, question mark? Super Metroid Odyssey, question mark?
A lot of people, when they found out what was going on with, they're starting over with Retro Studios, I haven't seen a lot of backlash about that.
No,
I've seen a lot of people saying, yeah, this is probably going to be for the best. Look what happened with the last Metroid game. They gave it to Ninja Theory and...
oh, boy!
And Team Ninja, not Ninja Theory, Team Ninja.
Let's not tarnish Ninja Theory.
Sorry, Ninja Theory. We meant the people who put boobs in everything.
Holy shit.
They put boobs in Hyrule Warriors. But yeah.
To be fair, there should be boobs in Hyrule Warriors.
I guess it makes more sense that way.
Every character should have toggleable boobs. Even Link, even Tingle.
Even Darunia.
Yeah, I want Zora boobs. I want Goron boobs. I want Cuckoo boobs. I want Redead boobs. I want the rupees have fucking tits.
We're gonna just put boobs in different spellings.
It literally, that should just be on the back of the box. Boobs. That's the front of box quote. Boobs. Squeeze the world gaming. Okay, sorry. Enough about boobs.
No, enough about boobs. But like I said, I'm not gonna be too bothered about it. I'm not gonna get an update one either anyway.
Well, if they're just starting development on it, it's not going to be out this year, regardless. But it should be interesting. We've proven that the Switch can do, with a little bit of graphical compromise, can do things on the level of Doom or whatever the new Wolfenstein game is that's on the Switch. So a new Metroid Prime game could theoretically look really good, even though it's on Switch hardware.
Well, it's not like it wouldn't have looked good on the Wii U or something like that.
That's true as well.
There really wasn't... I don't think that there was that much of a graphical leap from, like, last generation and this current one. But I don't really look at that sort of stuff anyway. So.
Honestly, I might just be not remembering or thinking about it with rose-tinted glasses or whatever, but I don't remember the Metroid Prime games looking terrible even by modern standards.
Right.
Like, there were pretty good-looking games with a good sense of art direction, so...
Yeah.
And you know who made those?
Retro Studios.
Retro Studios. There you go.
Next topic. I was kind of surprised to learn this past week that we live in a world now where you can pre-order Kamen Rider action figures off of GameStop's website.
Oh, you messaged me about this. But this was so strange.
But you know what you can't pre-order off of Nintendo or GameStop's website? Apparently stuff that you actually did pre-order. Because GameStop has canceled pre-orders on Kingdom Hearts 3 branded PS4 systems. But yeah, a bunch of people who had pre-ordered said system were disappointed to find out that GameStop had actually canceled them. With them coming back and having said that, yeah, we overbooked, oops. Usually when GameStop has pre-order stuff like this, they sell out right away. And then, because I remember when the whole thing with the Majora's Mask 3DS.
Yes,
I
do.
I remember wanting one of those, and I went over to pre-order, and they had been announced a couple hours before, and they were already sold out.
Oh, of course.
I was able to.
Were hard as hell to find.
I was able to get a Monster Hunter one, but still, and yet we get into a situation now where I don't know if they had eventually said that they were sold out or something like that, but now they're saying, oh, now you can't have yours because they didn't make enough of them, and that's not really what pre-orders are about.
No.
I mean, you'd think that if they set something up like this, then they would, make, depending on how many pre-orders that they do, but I don't know where I was going with this.
I mean, it is, on one aspect, it is understandable. Computer systems are not perfect. It is possible for more people to pre-order a Kingdom Hearts 3 limited edition PlayStation 4 than they actually have. And it's even more likely that at some point along the line, the supply chain said that a fewer number of them were coming than the amount that they had pre-ordered. But it's still disappointing, and it's still bad press for a company that really does not need more bad press.
I will say this for GameStop, though. At the very least, they did give full refunds, as well as a coupon or something like that as kind of a compensation, which is more than Bethesda did with Fallout 76. But,
we can form a long list of people who've done more than Bethesda did.
I know, but
I think I mentioned the thing about how the Rockstar did more for Red Dead players for the beta of the fucking Red Dead Online than they've done for the people who paid $60 for Fallout. But I don't want to keep talking about Fallout 76.
Sorry, it keeps coming up.
No, it's okay.
But yeah, it's still they really should have kept better tabs on something like that, because Kingdom Hearts, I mean, not only is it a game that people have been waiting 15 plus years for.
God. Kingdom Hearts 2. When did Kingdom Hearts 2 come out? Hang on. I will tell you. And obviously there's been other games since then, but this is a numbered game.
This is the one that they say
it's on PS2, right?
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 2 is on PS2.
Holy shit, it was. 2005. December of 2005.
So almost 15 years.
Yeah, almost 15 years. Holy shit, that's a long gap.
So it's actually surprising to me that a game that's been in development this long has turned out so good, because that usually doesn't happen. But yeah, you would expect there to be a lot of hype surrounding this, and Square Enix has been hyping this up to hell.
Oh, absolutely.
And, they figured, they're going to come out with a special system for it and everything. It's going to be cool. And then you figure that a lot of people are going to go for that because people have disposable incomes, and or they just don't pay for what they need. They pay for what they want, but that's a whole other can of worms I'm not going to get into right now. But yeah.
I don't know why. I saw the face in the little viewfinder, and I'm like, that looks like some Ring shit. Sorry.
7 days. Don't trust the tap water.
Don't touch that dial now. We're just getting started. Oh, they weren't just getting started. That's sad.
But yeah, with something this hyped up, they really should have kept better tabs on this, and they wouldn't have so many angry customers on their hands.
This is true. Interesting, you mentioned that they're hyping the shit out of it. I was kind of surprised because I was in Walt Disney World. I visited Walt Disney World last week.
Did they not have Kingdom Hearts shit all over the place?
There was no Kingdom Hearts merchandise. There was no Kingdom Hearts synergy whatsoever. So apparently all of that, I don't know how the licensing or the marketing works out, but apparently, at least in that aspect, all of it's on Square Enix, because Disney, with regards to their parks, is not marketing Kingdom Hearts for shit.
So
I was kind of surprised, because I went, I got this from the
Japan
store in Epcot, and I'm like, they don't have any Kingdom Hearts shit in this store.
And it's
like no figures, no hoodies, no. I wouldn't have bought any Kingdom Hearts stuff.
I think it's funny because, like, you know, based on the pictures that you showed me from inside of the store with the merchandise they have, things that you can't buy revolve around Kingdom Hearts, which is the actual thing with Disney stuff in it. But you can buy Gundam models.
Yes, they had Gundam models. It was interesting.
So kind of a 2-in-1 for this topic here. EH microtransaction stuff. I mean, it was either this or Fallout 76. And
that's fair.
So, on the one side of the coin, someone on Reddit, I believe, leaked a picture of what Anthem's microtransaction store is going to be like. And the results are...
Microtransaction store? Of course it is.
Yeah, and the results are not favorable to most people, I guess. Basically, from what people are seeing, because they did basically say, I believe at one point, that all of Anthem's microtransactions were going to be just,
cosmetic?
Cosmetic, yeah.
Okay.
But the prices...
that's the bare minimum these days, honestly.
The prices that they're charging seem to be quite not great, I guess is a good way of putting it. So... I guess the microtransaction currency du jour in this case is are shards.
Shards.
And much like as you would expect, roughly 100 shards will equal $1.
God, isn't it how that always happens in these games?
Yeah.
Isn't that weird how that always happens?
And apparently there are like skins and whatnot going for like 2,000 shards each. So yeah, just take that as you will. I thought that was kind of
that's a lot of money for a skin. Does it glow?
I have no idea. I mean, I'm not going to be getting the game, so I don't care.
Me either. Wasn't there also a thing? I don't know if this is the other side of your one too, but I know that there were huge problems with the VIP demo last weekend.
No, this wasn't part of it. I didn't hear about that.
There were apparently issues with people getting into the VIP demo last weekend. It would say that the server was overfilled. There would be infinite loading screens and the like. Essentially, it felt more like playing a really buggy like beta than the sort of polished gameplay slice that pre-order people expected to.
Greg, I thought we weren't going to be talking about Fallout 76.
Well, that's the whole game, you know. The thing is, if I was EA, I would not be. Well, if I was EA, I'd be a soulless corporate automaton. But EA really shouldn't be pushing it with the microtransactions. Like, I wouldn't push your luck, especially after Mass Effect Andromeda, because this is BioWare's follow-up to that. So
and who knows how long, and if this, and depending on how well this does, could basically decide BioWare's fate at this point.
Yeah, you really don't want to be pushing it. I mean, I guess they don't care. They'll liquidate BioWare if they have to. That's what I'm talking about. Damn bad, $20 for an outfit. I'm trying to think. I mean, you can. I don't even think there are. I think you can get pretty much any frame in Warframe for less than that, and except for like Prime variants, and that's an entirely different. That's not just a skin. That's an entirely different character with powers, a move set, all sorts of shit.
And Warframe is free to play, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's free to play. Like
the Anthem's going to be full $60.
Even Dead by Daylight, they are somewhat scummy with regards to the amount of cosmetic costumes that they sell for people. But even like the most expensive, there's two types. I don't know why I'm talking about Dead by Daylight now. There's two types of currency in Dead by Daylight. Three types of currency, but two to buy cosmetics. Iridescent shards and auric cells. Iridescent shards you get every time you level up your account. And auric cells you get, you have to pay for. You can buy any cosmetic in the game with the shards except for, like, basically the newest thing that they've released. Everything eventually becomes purchasable with shards, but even then, like, the most expensive outfit in Dead by Daylight is like $8. I want to say.
Gotcha.
So
that is, I mean, not as much as Anthem, but it's still kind of a lot.
yeah, it really is. It's kind of scummy. I mean, I get it, but you know, I got my Fang Min in like the black sci-fi suit, which makes her very difficult to see. So I'm happy with that.
But on the other side of the EA microtransaction coin,
Oh God,
we
you
got
weren't even done, and I was babbling. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry, audience. Please
technically-
skip the last 2 minutes. Please get in your time machine and go back and skip the last
You'll
5
never
minutes.
get that time back.
Of me ranting. You'll never be clean.
But a bit of good news on this side of the coin here. So
Good news?
Yeah.
From EA?
well, not good news from EA, but good news regarding EA.
Okay.
Remember a few months back when Belgium started getting in on all the whole microtransaction stuff,
Belgium.
and basically like taking the loot boxes out of 2K stuff, and 2K actually trying to get people to lobby their government to say that the loot boxes and gambling is what they really want, and also they also were threatening to take EA to court if they didn't do anything, and EA was like, well, we got the big boy pants on, so we're going to say no. Well, apparently EA caved.
Yeah!
And microtransactions, at least I guess for Belgian releases, are being taken out of FIFA, and or at least loot boxes are. And this is, you know, I hope this kind of sends a bit more of a message as well. That you know, to EA, that the law does apply to you. And I do hope that it does kind of, you know, still leak over into other countries and saying, hey, you should do something about, you know, the obvious gambling being in video games that the children play.
I think what we're seeing right now is, and I talked about this in our year-end show, I think, was that what we're seeing is, throughout sort of the end of 2018, is the building of a legal framework to kind of go against this sort of legalized gambling with regards to loot boxes and microtransactions. I think that's going to pay off in 2019. I hope so. I'm really hoping Belgium was like patient zero for this, and that other countries will begin passing legislation to do similar things. Because if companies aren't willing to self-regulate in a sane manner with regards to entertainment products,
I guess
then
someone else going to have to do it for
someone is going to step in and do it for you.
And soon,
asshole.
and soon we're going to be at a point where like the only places you can get your cosmetic Overwatch loot boxes within the U.S. are like the state of Nevada and some Native American reservations.
Ah, wonderful. You have to, or international
Gambling
waters.
or international waters.
You go, it's an Overwatch cruise. You get on the cruise and you go out in international waters, and then you all buy loot boxes. It's like those old ladies with like the cups sitting from the slot machine, except it's like 40-year-old guys in like nerd t-shirts. Like, come on, Rare Mercy scan, come on. Oh, fuck. Okay, put another $1 in the slot machine. Yeah, it's going to be that. And there's going to be like servers dressed as like Genji walking around like handing out Coors Light and shit.
I don't even play as the hamster.
We live this will happen because we live in the shittiest fucking timeline. We live in the worst possible, like, dystopian novel of all time.
But seriously, when did... Never mind, I was going to say, when did Kamen Rider get that mainstream in the U.S.?
When did the GameStop start selling Kamen Rider figures?
I don't know. I just kind of did a search for
crazy.
I mean, I didn't get it from GameStop,
You were just
obviously.
like,
I got it from
Kamen
Amazon.
Rider, let's see what it says.
No, I was looking at a specific figure. I was looking at...
It's going to be like, did you mean Karen Rider?
I was looking for the SH figure arts for Kamen Rider Blade that's coming out, and yeah, they had it. They had a page for it on GameStop of all places.
Shit.
So I bought it off Amazon. Anyway,
that's the end of that story.
moving on to our next topic. So we all know that the Epic Store is going to be a thing. It's going to be a sort of a competition for Steam a bit. And it was recently announced that Metro Exodus is going to be exclusive on the Epic Store, to which Valve started whining and crying and pooping their pants.
And consumers started whining and crying and pooping their pants, too. The game has gotten mass review bombed on Steam with negative reviews because now people have to get it on the Epic Store. Wah.
So they're saying they're crying, saying it's unfair. Even though I'm fairly sure that they do this sort of shit all the time. I mean, I don't use Steam that much, but I'm sure that there are games that are exclusives to Steam.
Of course,
like
absolutely.
Valve games, and you know, 10-year-old Billy's asset flip that's up on the store for $20.
And every like totally censored pornographic visual novel from Japan.
Or games about school shooting, even though it's illegal, and they said they're not going to allow illegal stuff, but they're still not going to do anything about it.
Yeah, Valve has been moving like a yo-yo with regards to that. You know, I think it's... I've mentioned this in the messaging to you that I kind of have to be Team Valve here just because Valve has done so goddamn much in the last couple of years with regards to support and compatibility for Linux gaming. Just the whole development that they've done with Proton in terms of providing a compatibility layer has made it to where, like, you don't know. If you're not a Linux gamer, you don't know. Like, you used to have to, if you wanted to play Skyrim on your Linux box, you used to have to create a bottle and wine. You used to have to do all this configuration shit. And then you'd get like an 80% playable version of Skyrim when you were done. And you'd be like, why? Like, I'm bored now. I don't even want to do this. Now, with the Proton compatibility layer that's built into Steam, you literally just click, install the game, and click to play it like you were playing it on Windows. And it works. Skyrim works. The Witcher 3 works, which is something I didn't think I'd be saying for at least like 5 years. So, good guy Valve when it comes to Linux gaming. Not so good guy Valve when it comes to everything else. When it comes to allowing tidal waves of shoddily made games on your platform, of allowing games that are literally Bitcoin miners in them, when it comes to making incredibly exploitative games like Artifact, which completely fucking bomb when they come out.
And in all honesty, like, I get that they, you know, again, the whole Linux gaming thing, and they get brownie points for that, but that doesn't mean that they have carte blanche to have a monopoly.
Oh, of course.
On, you know, digital distribution for computers. And, you know, Valve is, not Valve, Steam is pretty much synonymous these days with any kind of PC gaming distribution. And it's not like it's still not like they're the only ones out there. We've got GOG, we've got you know, the Epic stores coming out.
We've got
EA, we have Origin. Bethesda has their own shitty store that doesn't give you refunds if
Blizzard has the BattleNet launcher.
Yeah, there's the BattleNet launcher. But you know, for them to just cry and say that it's not fair that another thing will get exclusives, I mean, there's a whole competition thing.
It's the pot calling the kettle black to an absurd degree.
Exactly.
You know, I think Valve is just now starting to get a little bit scared because of the number of things that Epic basically has all the money right now because of Fortnite.
Right.
And was sort of the Trojan horse. It got the Epic Games program onto, you know, 100 million PCs in the US. And God knows how many Macs. Epic Store, by the way, does not run on Linux, period. Supposedly, Android and other platforms are coming in 2019, so I'll believe it when I see it. Epic is throwing all the money around right now to get exclusives.
Their money good.
They're giving away 2 games every month for absolutely free for the Epic Store for the first half of the month and for the second half of the month. I don't even remember what it is right now. Previous games included like Subnautica, which is like a game that's like a year old.
Yeah, I'm planning on getting that for PS4 at some point.
As well as like old standbys like Super Meat Boy and the like. So they're definitely like they're trying. I don't know. Valve is an incredibly entrenched competitor. We're not talking about like an 800-pound gorilla as much as we're talking about like an 8,000-pound gorilla.
We're talking like
when we talk about Steam.
Yeah.
It would be interesting. I would love I think the absolute best outcome would be for them to give Steam the kick in the pants to maybe be less
shitty.
I was going to say evil, but shitty works too. Maybe do some decent curation. Maybe actually hire some people to do that sort of thing. Instead of just, having a small team that does whatever the fuck they want. And maybe there'll be a game at the end of it.
And doesn't make Fallout 3.
And Half-Life 3.
Right. I meant Half-Life 3.
One point I wanted to make about the Metro review bombing. First of all, I get it's frustrating, but you're getting your money back, which we just talked about that with the fucking Kingdom Hearts thing. It does kind of look bad for Valve that they lost the thing. I would be perfectly alright, though, if the negative reviews were all written like a fucking true Slav who was angry. Suka Blitz! I already spent my money! Are you going to put it back on my prepaid card so that I can go and purchase it in this Epic store? I don't even have Fortnite.
I think that if the Epic Store does well, then we're gonna have a full on PC digital marketplace version of the console wars.
Fuck yeah! I cannot wait to have the Sega versus Nintendo.
Sony
Epic does what Steam does.
Sony versus Microsoft and PC gaming.
Yes, I'm absolutely for that. The real test will be, will Epic add blast processing to the Epic Game Store?
I found out that the blast processing is actually a thing. It wasn't just bullshit.
Yeah, no, apparently. It wasn't a huge thing, though. It was sort of like Mode 7 for...
Yeah, the statement that it was bullshit was just Nintendo trying to blow smoke up its own ass, but yeah.
Was that our last news?
Oh, our actual last news story this week, as we mentioned previously, is that Star Citizen is not yet out.
Star Citizen is not yet out.
But that's it, pretty much.
I will say I watched the video that's been quoted a number of times in Star Citizen criticism forums of interesting video of Chris Roberts talking to Richard Garriott about about movement in Zero G, where it's obvious that you can tell which of the men has actually been to space and which is not.
Oh yeah, Richard Garriott.
I will say this. I don't think I'd ever actually seen either of them talk before, in real life. And watching the video, neither of them sounded the way I expected them to sound at all. They actually sort of sounded the way I expected the other person to sound. Because Chris Roberts has this, very, upper crust, English accent. And Richard Garriott, I expect Richard Garriott's
from Texas.
Yeah, I expect Richard Garriott, though, to, talk like he's Ren
He's
Fairbanks.
Lord British.
I know, that's why. I'm you need to sound like you're from Lord of the Rings. All the time.
No, like you're from Ultima.
Yes,
but,
exactly.
Richard Garriott's a really cool dude.
Oh, yeah, he is. He definitely comes off as the much cooler person in that interview.
Yeah, so. I know I've talked about how I compared them. I think we were talking about that when we were playing Mega Man 9 at some point, but so I don't really feel like getting into that again. Either way, on that note, I guess it's time to end because we don't have any sort of big.
We have no feature this week,
so we're gonna just go ahead and hopefully beat Deadly Premonition tonight.
Hell yeah,
and,
let's go.
Let's see how well we get
on
with that. So join us next week where we will have more gaming news, hopefully.
Your ears and eyes.
Is that our catchphrase?
I always did that with the audio podcast, and now I just sort of fit it in the end with the eyes added for the video podcast.
Let's do that.
Sure.
That's going to be our catchphrase for your ears and eyes. And until then, I've been Rado Goji.
And I'm Sorlin Greg.
And we'll be here next time. Join us, won't you?